Howdy. Let's talk about exponential equation. So for this problem, basically we're gonna apply the like another power, which will cancel out your power. But there are a couple of things you have to remember. Okay. So first of all, look at number A, B, and C. Like when you look at the power on your left hand side, that is all odd number on the numerator of your power, right? Then you can just simply like apply another power which is reciprocal of your power, okay? And that's it. Then you can find the answer, okay? But if you have even number numerator, then it is a little bit sensitive, okay? So for example, if you have x squared equal to 4, okay? Then, as I explained, like we're gonna apply the power reciprocal of your power on both sides. But whenever you have this situation with this one, which is like 2 over 1, then you have to put the plus and minus sign, okay? Otherwise, it is wrong, okay? So when you do that, your square will be canceled out like this way. So on your left-hand side, you have only x, and right-hand side is plus and minus 4 to the 1 half, right? Since 4 is 2 squared, and square and 1 half power will be canceled out, and your answer is plus and minus 2. That's the only thing you have to remember, okay? But for problem A, B, and C, you don't have to worry about this situation because you have like odd number numerator of your power, okay? So what we're gonna do is, so like let me write you 125 as the exponent 4. It is 5 cubed, right? So we're gonna apply 2/3, which is reciprocal your power, given power. Is that okay? And then your left hand side, your exponent will be multiplied, which means canceled out, and you have only x to the 1. Then we're gonna write the x only. And right hand side, 3 and 1/3 will be canceled out. You have 5 squared. So your answer is 25. Is it clear? And what about second problem? So you have x on your left hand side and right hand side, right? Let me move all x term to the left hand side first, okay? So this one can be written by 3x to the 3/4 minus x to the 1/2 equals 0. Is that okay? So when you think about 3/4, 3/4 is bigger than 1 over 2, right? So when you think about 3/4, that is kind of uh, 2/4 plus 1/4, which is 1/2 plus 1/4. Can you see it? So like this one, like from this idea, like this power can be written by x to the 1/2 times x to the 1/4. So can you find common common factor? So we can just put out x to the 1/2 outside. Then we can factor like this way: x to the 1/2, and the remaining part is 3x to the 1/4 and minus 1 equals 0. Okay, so we have now two factors: x to the 1/2 and 3x to the 1/4 minus 1. Okay, so the first case is the first factor equal to 0 case. So your x equals 0. That is your first root of this equation. The second part is what? This part equals 0. Okay, then when I add 1 on both sides, this will be 3x to the 1/4 is 1 now. Divide by 3, x to the 1/4 is 1/3 now, right? And then as we did in the previous problem, we're going to take the power fourth on both sides, okay? So your x is 1/3 to the 4, which is 1 over 81. So for this problem, I can say you have two solutions, 0 and 1 over 81. Is it clear? Okay. And what about C? Okay, let me split this part. C is easy, right? So we're going to do the same thing as we did before. And since your numerator of your exponent is odd number, you don't have to worry about plus and minus sign. So we're going to just like take the like power 2/3 on the right hand side as well. And left hand side is just simply x plus 5. And right hand side, what is 8? 8 is 2 cubed, right? 2 cubed and 2/3. That as we did before, and your exponent will be multiplied, then it is just simply 4. So we have x plus 5 is equal to 4, and then minus 5 on both sides, then your x is -1. Is that clear? And what about D? Okay, so for this kind of square root equation, and you have to be careful about your domain, which means whenever you get the answer, and you have to double check it is really your answer or not, okay? But it is concerned with domain of square root and the range of square root, okay? So I will show you what happened, okay? So like first step is definitely we're gonna take the square on both sides, okay? So you don't have to worry about plus and minus sign for this case, because like a square root is 1 over 2 power, right? Which means your numerator power is 1, it is odd number, right? You don't have to worry about, okay? So whenever you take the square, it's 15 minus 2x is equal to x squared. Then let me move everything to the right-hand side, then it should be easy to make it in order, right? So 0 equal to x squared plus 2x minus 15, right? And we know how we can factor this one, right? So look at that. And we can use like minus 3 and plus 5, and x minus 3 and x plus 5 equals 0. Then we can get the root for this equation, which is 3 and minus 5. But keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. You have to double check like these are really your root or not, okay? So when you plug in back into the original equation, then you must have positive or equal, like bigger than or equal to 0 number under the square root. And also the result of square root must be positive or equal to 0 as well, okay? So when I plug in 3 into my equation, what is that? The square root of 15 minus 6 equal 3. Is it true? Yes, it is true, right? So it is okay. Then what about -5? When I plug in -5, it is square root of 15 plus 10 is equal to -5. Can you find something wrong? Square root value cannot be negative. Does it make sense? So this doesn't work. So this is not your answer. And like for this problem, you have only one single root, which is x equal 3. But keep that in mind. This is very important situation for the like equation of the square root, okay? So keep that in mind. Whenever you have square root, you have to double check your root that you found is working or not, okay? So what about E? It is same situation, okay? The starting point is same. We're gonna take the square on both sides, okay? But anyway, like you know what? Like when I have to solve this problem, I always like in finding the range of x first by the domain and the range of the um, like x first. But like you don't have to worry about it, okay? Once you find the answer, you can just like by plugging in back into your equation, you can double check that one, okay? So you don't have to worry about finding all the like possible interval, okay? So anyway, let's take the square of both sides. Then left-hand side is simply x plus 3, and right-hand side is 3x minus 1 squared. You know what it is, right? You have to do the FOIL on your right-hand side, okay? Let me write one more time. X plus 3 equal to 9x squared minus 6x plus 1. I'm jumping a little bit, but like you have to do 3x minus 1 times 3x minus 1 by the distribution. That is the FOIL, right? And then we have this one, okay? Then let me move everything to the right-hand side, then we can have like, in order of the quadratic, okay? Then 0 equal to 9x squared minus 7x minus 2. Then which number combination is working then? It is like, 9 can be product of 1 and 9. And if I have like 2 as the like 1 and 2 and negative here, I think like this works. Then like we can factor like this way. 0 is equal to x minus 1 and 9x plus 2. If you don't trust your factoring, then like you can just like double check like by the like distribution, right? Is that correct? 9x squared and minus 9x and plus 2x, which is minus 7x and minus 2. That is perfect, okay? So now I found x equal to 1 and x equal to minus 2 over 9, okay? So like as I told you, we have to plug it back into the like given problem, right? When you plug in 1, what happened? Your left-hand side is square root of 1 plus 3, which is square root of 4. That is 2, right? And on your right-hand side, 3 times 1 minus 1 is 2. Oh, that is correct, right? So this is working, okay? But what about negative 2 over 9? When I plug in negative 2 over 9 into your left-hand side, it is negative 2 over 9 plus 9, which is 27 over uh, 9, which is like the square root of 25 over 9. That is 5 over 3, okay? But when you plug in negative 2 over 9 into your right-hand side, that is negative number, right? But keep that in mind. Your square root value cannot be negative value. That's why this doesn't work, okay? So we have to make sure this is not your answer. So the final answer for this problem is there is only one single solution for this problem. Is that clear? Okay. And what about next problem? Look at that. So definitely we're going to take the square on both sides, okay? But to make it simpler, then I would recommend like put the like one single square root on one side, okay? So let me move your x plus 2 to the right hand side first, okay? Then we're going to take the square. Then also like we have to take the like a square one more time, okay? So this one, it might be better to start from here, okay? Then we're going to take the square on both sides. Again, whenever you take the square, you don't have to worry about plus and minus sign, okay? That happened for the square root, okay? So your left-hand side is like this way, 3x plus 7. Since we don't have enough space, let me write it like in a like one line, okay? And right-hand side, it is 1 minus n squared x plus 2, right? And you must do 1 minus square root x plus 2 times 1 minus square root x plus 2, okay? It is 1 minus 2 square root of x plus 2 and plus x plus 2. I just jumped a little bit, but like, I did FOIL, okay? And that's it, okay? So now, let me simplify one more time. 3x plus 7 equal to, we have x and 1 and 2, which is x plus 3, minus 2 square root of x plus 2, okay? Let me move x plus 3 term to the left-hand side. Then this will be 2x plus 4 is equal to minus 2 square root of x plus 2 now, okay? And for my convenience, let me divide by 2 everywhere, okay? Then might be much simpler number, okay? X plus 2 is equal to negative square root of x plus 2. We are here. The next step is like we're going to take the square one more time, okay? So take square and take square. With negative sign, doesn't matter, okay? And it will be x squared plus 4x plus 4. Again, on your left-hand side, you have to do the FOIL, okay? Right-hand side, negative square is positive, and we have x plus 20, okay? Then move everything to the left-hand side, then it is x squared plus 3x plus 2 equals 0. It is very simple factoring x plus 1 and x plus 2 equals 0, then your x must be negative 1 and negative 2. But keep that in mind, we have to double check this works or not, okay? So when I plug in negative 1 into the original function, original equation, then left-hand side is negative 3 times negative 1 plus 7 is 4, which is 2. And then the second square root, negative 1 plus 2 is 1, and which is 1, and 3 is equal to 1. It doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't work. So this is not yours. And when I plug in negative 2 in there, negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, plus 7 is 1, okay? And then the second term is what? Negative 2 plus 2 is equal to 0. 1 is equal to 1. That works, okay? So this works. So for this problem, we have only one root, which is negative 2, okay? Keep that in mind. For the square root equation, you have to double check. It's okay? So what about G? Oh, it is absolute equation, okay? But that case, like try to isolate your absolute function part on one side and move everything else to the right hand side, okay? G is very clear situation. Then we can handle this one very easily, okay? Here we go. So there are two cases, right? The first one is your absolute value function is equal to 8 case. That is obvious, all right? And the second one is what? Your absolute value is negative 8 case. That's it, right? So like for the first one, let me do like on the right-hand side. Let me keep writing to the right. And minus 4 on both sides. And 6x equal to 4. and divide by 4, which is 4/6 or 2/3. That's it, right? That's first solution, okay? The what about second one? That is same process, and we're gonna subtract 4 on both sides and divide by 2, 6. Then x equal to -2. So for this problem, we have two solutions, okay? X equal to 2/3 and -2. Is that clear? Okay. And what about h? Come on, it is really nonsense, right? And you know the like minimal absolute function, right? Whenever you have absolute function, then the result will be positive or 0, right? And it cannot be negative. So nonsense. So like the answer for h is no solution, impossible. Okay. And what about next problem? As I told you, your absolute value for a function part must be isolated to one side. So to do so, like we're going to add 4 on both sides. Then we can isolate your absolute value function on your left-hand side, right? So that is first step. So equal to 10, right? Then since you have like, absolute value function on your left-hand side only, then we can do something, right? Two cases, right? The first one is the inside of absolute value is 10. That's it, right? The second case is what? Minus 10 case. Since we have absolute value function, your -10 will be 10, which is equal to right-hand side, okay? So from the first one, plus 5 on both sides, and divide by 3 on both sides. That's it. That is your first root, okay? The second one, plus 5 on both sides, and divide by 3 on both sides. So this is your second root. Is it clear? And then what about next problem? Well, it is equal to 0, right? Then you don't have to worry about the cases, okay? There's only one case, which is inside of absolute value equal to 0, right? -5 x plus 10 equals 0, and minus 10 on both sides, -5x equals -10, divided by -5 on both sides, then the answer is just 2, right? Then what about k? The same situation, right? We can start from like subtracting 8 on both sides, right? So this will be absolute value of 1 minus 4x is equal to 5, right? And then two cases, right? The first one is 1 minus 4x equal to 5 case. The second one is 1 minus 4x is -5, right? It is very easy to solve this one, right? First case, subtract 1 on both sides. Then the first solution is -1, okay? The second one, -1 on both sides. Then divide by -4 on both sides. Then is -6 also -4, which is 3/2. So like this case, we have two answers, right? -1 and 3/2. Okay. And what about L? Oh my goodness, right? It looks crazy, right? But keep that in mind. This is kind of quadratic, okay, which is second order differential equation. We're going to do the factoring for this, okay? So to do so, like you have to realize, like, we have x to the 1/3 square. I'm talking about the leading term, first term, right? It is x to the 2/3, but we can rewrite that one as x to the 1/3 square, okay? So this one is x to the 1/3 square and minus 5 x to the 1/3 power 1 and plus 6. Can you see it? If you consider like, as the x to the 1/3 as one single variable, it is definitely quadratic, okay? Then you can factor this guy, right? So you can make the double bubble, which is x to 1/3 and minus 2, x 1/3 and minus 3. Beautiful, right? Then I can say x to the 1/3 is equal to 2 or 3, right? Then to find x, we're going to take the cube on both sides, okay? But like, when you take the cube, you don't have to worry about sign, okay? That's it. So your x is 2 cubed, which is 8, and 3 cubed, which is 27. So for this problem, we have two solutions, which is 8 and 27, okay?